how local bodies are functioning in your state? In my state.
Local bodies have good networking in Andhra Pradesh, and recently regarding the ward secretaries and ward members network, Andhra Pradesh has put as example for good network of decentralization. Even in COVID, they have played a good role in accessing the data and spreading awareness, and they are doing programs like Pallenidra and they are providing the money incentives directly to the hand. So I feel the network is very good in Andhra Pradesh.
Is there any volunteer system in the village level in Andhra Pradesh?
Ward volunteers? Yes, ma'am.
How it is functioning?
There are a single ward secretary for every 50 houses, and they are responsible for giving pensions in the time to the houses, and they are also responsible for supervision of healthcare and collecting the data of revenues.
Right. Can you define 3 F's in Panchayat Raj system? 3 F's. What are 3 F's in Panchayat Raj system?
Function, functionality and funds, I guess. Functionaries, functionalities and funds. I cannot recall, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
What are the states which have completely devolved all the 29 items in the 11th schedule? Can you name the states which have completely devolved the items in the 11th schedule?
No, ma'am, but I remember Kerala has decentralized maximum powers to the state and it has a good network.
Okay. Are you following recent elections?
Municipal elections, ma'am?
No. Recent general elections.
Yes, ma'am, I have been
In
following.
which state tomorrow we have elections?
Oh, West Bengal.
Tomorrow?
Sorry, ma'am, no.
No, we don't have an idea. Okay. So what do you mean by a Jat give his daughter only to a Jat? In the same way, a Jat owes only to a Jat. What do you mean by that? A Jat
Yes, ma'am.
gives his daughter only to a Jat. A Jat owes only to a Jat. What do you mean by the statement?
I believe it is based on caste rigidity, which they are following interdining or intermarriages only within the caste, which are making the caste system more and more penetrating or rigid to not able to dissociate, ma'am.
In the recent elections in 2019 and also in the 5 state elections, do you find any caste politics?
I cannot recall, sorry.
You don't find anything?
Caste politics are sure working in multiple states in manifestos, ma'am,
Okay.
where they are providing funds, not funds, incentives to a caste which is downtrodden or less developed. But I also believe this also has a motive of developing lower trodden caste, though it has a little tint of caste politics. It is more based on cooperation and development.
Okay. I'll give a statement, kindly explain that.
Yes, ma'am.
Caste is more a political phenomenon than a social phenomenon today.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
agree? Do you agree?
I-
Caste is more about politics, less about society.
No, ma'am, it has both the components today, because before independence, I believe it is mostly only social phenomena, because it only operated how hierarchies worked, how job distributions worked. Now with reservations and other things in the field, now caste based groupings and caste based schemes are coming up. So many political parties in regional level are cooperating towards their caste so that they deliver maximum incentives.
Very good. Sir.
Pooja, you can remove your mask because you are distant from us. So I think you remove your mask.
Okay, sir, sure, sir.
Speaking, that will be comfortable for you. Okay, you've been selected as a village development officer. Is it a recently introduced post in AP, or it was there earlier also?
My father, sir?
Oh, no, you said VDO, you worked as a VDO, or your father worked as a VDO?
My father worked as
You worked as EOPRD?
His
Okay,
further
okay.
promotion
And what
is
are you
UP.
doing now?
I just graduated, sir. I have been unemployed.
Which is from Surathkal?
NIT Surathkal, sir.
Okay. You know, I was looking at your hobbies.
Yes,
You
sir.
said that cartoon, what is that cartoon thing about?
Sir, my cartoon illustrations are more of an expression. Whenever I'm moved by any...
Have you published anything in any magazines?
No,
Apart-
sir, I haven't.
Any of your college magazines?
No, sir. In college, for minute poster designs, I have helped, but they needed digitalization. I always provided the draft of this, and people helped.
Any
me.
favorite cartoonist you follow or you like?
I like Bapu sir and R.K. Narayan.
Bob, who are kind of very pretty old, present day.
No, actually, there is Sridhar sir. There are very less cartoonists who are non-political these days. I am more of an illustrationist. So,
How do you think cartoons can express? I mean, are they relevant today's? I
Yes,
mean,
sir,
why
they
is
are-
it important? Every newspaper has a cartoon. What is the context and how do they express?
they are very relevant in reaching to maximum number of audience, sir.
Okay.
For example, to explain just a hot summer, they can show it is temperature wise or graphical wise.
Our Indian cartoonists, are they really politically relevant when they express their views? Are they able to relevant? Like, you know, Times of India, there used to be Mr. R. K. Lakshman.
Yes,
Used to be, you know,
sir.
Punch used to be there.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you find such kind of cartoonists now?
I find good cartoons in Hindu also right now, but I find in few newspapers they are little exaggerated.
What are your options? What is your option for mains?
Anthropology, sir.
Anthropology. Okay. Do you know anything, you know, Anthropological Society of India?
Sir,
Anthropological Society of
Yes,
India.
sir.
What does it do?
It does research about how the marginalized sections are being displaced and how their conditions will be disturbed if they are evolved, and they also bother about genetic differences between the...
Have they done any survey on tribes in India?
Anthropology.
Anthropological Society of India.
Currently, I am not able to recall.
So how do you see, you know, present day, recently Supreme Court has given some kind of remarks on reservations.
Yes, sir.
So how do you see that? I mean, what kind of observations were made by, you know, Supreme Court of India, and in what context?
Yes, sir. Supreme Court has asked for how many generations the reservations would continue, and this is in the context of both Maharashtra reservations and West Bengal's in mind also. I believe the question how many generations is a little...
Was there similar kind of observations by Supreme Court about 6 months back or 1 year back in context of reservations? Supreme Court has made some critical, you know, comments and some kind of...
Recently, there has been a judgment that there is a creamy layer of SC/ST is not based on the economic progress, but rather based on socio-economic progress. Supreme Court has asserted that the reservations are not meant for economic development.
Do you
sir.
agree with that?
I do agree with that, sir, because even in government services, despite the authority and despite the economic progress have achieved by the lower caste, there is very little behavioral change. And
Do you believe that still there is a, you know, there is a case for reservations? You know, we already passed more than 50 years and there are a lot of privatization taking place, and we look into, you know, recent, you know, Government of India also want to privatize a lot of government, you know, public sector institutions.
yes, sir.
A lot of jobs will be going, they will not be coming. And then the fact that, you know, software is developing so much and startups are there,
Yes.
I'm sure many of youngsters are going for private sector. Do you think there is a still case for reservation?
I believe reservation should be given to lower level. I mean, now the private institutions are coming. Rather than providing job reservations, I want them reservations to be better in skill providing, sir. So that would
What are the
provide
subjects you have taken in your BTech program?
Electronics and communication engineering.
Electronic communications. What exactly did you study in communications?
We
I'm
have-
sure Surathkal is one of the premier institutes of NIITs.
Yes, sir.
So, what is that you had studied in communications?
We have learnt about signal processing and ad hoc sensor networks, and we have also learnt about
Have you learned anything, something called an IoT? What is
IoT?
IoT and how are they relevant
Yes,
in
sir.
present day
I have
development?
done a mini project in IoT.
What is that?
My project was how agriculture can be made smart, that takes parameters like temperature, humidity and moisture in the air, soil moisture, so that it provides...
How you capture that?
We use sensors, sir. We use temperature sensors.
Did you manufacture sensors in your own laboratory or imported somewhere?
We have bought sensors.
From
sir.
where?
We have bought it online, sir.
Is it from outside or is Chinese make or where from you got them?
I am not able
This
to
is one thing I
recall.
want to ask you. There are so many IITs, triple IITs, NITs are there. Small sensor also, you need to import from China or from European markets. So how do you expect, IoT, because IoT has a lot of, applications
Yes,
in
sir, yes, sir.
agriculture or, any kind of civic services.
Yes, sir.
So why this kind of a thing? Why we are not able to manufacture small sensor? Because you see, the sensor you talked about
Yes,
is
sir.
a hygroscopic sensor.
Yes, sir.
It has to just tap for how much moisture is there.
Yes, sir.
And we are not able to make it. Why are we, importing them?
India has poor infrastructure in semiconductor physics, like chips manufacturing and silo manufacturing. So, I think dice making. So, because of that lower level,
Is there anything government of India doing right now or last 4 or 5 years to develop this infrastructure
There
in
has been
frontier
national-
areas? What are the technology missions? Any missions are there in that?
machines, sir.
Any technology missions or any technological, institutions have been set up, semiconductor making and these kind of things? What is government of India's
has
contribution in this?
launched a national electronics policy, sir.
Okay.
And for accessing all amount of small ideas from everywhere, it also has set up sovereign patent fund, which can provide equitable knowledge and resources for everyone to further produce on that, sir.
What is the startup policy of government of India?
Startup policy. It provides incentives and interest subsidies, and it provides tax incentives for any 3 years of the first 10
Any
years.
good startups you can come across, have come across, which are doing well in India?
Byju's, sir.
Okay. Byju's is a startup, commerce basically.
Yes, sir.
Any technological startups?
No, sir, I cannot.
Right. Okay. Please.
What is your name?
Tirumani Shri Pooja.
Pooja. So, what is the role of the women in the eradication of social and economical inequalities in the society?
Okay, sir. I believe women has a major role in eradicating socio-economic inequality because firstly, women are oppressed even within the family and within the society. So once women gets educated and get employed, the basic economic and also through that she gets empowered, socio and inequality will be adjusted. And also the second thing I believe is even within the caste system, as we have seen that most of the women are forced to marry within the caste. I believe more empowering women will help her make own decisions to get intercaste marriages, and it also can dissociate the caste system, sir.
Recently, a woman officer at Maharashtra committed suicide
Okay, sir.
because of some hierarchical harassment, etc.
Okay.
Suppose if you would have in that place, what would be your reaction? What you will do if you face such kind of thing?
Because of hierarchical, okay, sir. I'm very sure I'm not the person who would destroy my life because I value life in any aspect, and I think I would try to understand the root cause, sir. And also when I feel that is a problem of behavioral thing in the opposite people, I try to change. If not, I will rather take a bigger step to not let it depress me or not let it affect me, sir.
Okay, according to the newspapers and all these media sources, etc., she was very dare enough to discharge her duties,
Okay, sir.
but she was unable to come out that problem. Is it right?
Okay, sir.
Right? What are the reasons for it?
I believe identity and mental strength are different when the person does duty, sir. Because of, I think her identity, when her identity is demeaned or something, though it is on duty level, she has been very strong lady. She must not have been prepared to look at demeaning of her identity, sir.
Any legal protection is there in that case for the women employees? Legal protection
Regarding
protecting from such kind of
Any institutional mechanisms are there.
Yes.
Legal mechanisms,
basically,
any
sorry,
institutions.
sir, I don't know about this particular case.
No, not that particular case.
Okay.
Member is asking.
No, sir.
Generally,
Generally.
if a woman is harassed at workplace,
Oh, it's a Vishaka
what are the various mechanisms available? Are there any constitutional setups are available to protect women?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There are Vishaka guidelines, sir, where Supreme Court has delivered broad guidelines how workplaces should be there, and there are also Prevention of Sexual Harassment Against Women Act, and regarding Andhra Pradesh, we also have Disha Act. Recently we made on the verge of that unfortunate event of murder of Disha. So I believe the constitutional provisions and the legal provisions are good enough in place, but implementation has been lacking a little.
Okay. What are the reasons for backwardness of your mother district?
My home district, sir.
Home district.
My home district is Kadapa, sir. Yeah. So the main reason is it has very bad irrigation, sir. So and the main crops grown there are horticultural crops and maize kind of crops. These crops have very less incentives in market or to grow, sir. I believe the farmers are not being enough incentivized. And also regarding the there are very good minerals like barytes and asbestos, sir, but I believe the technological development in extracting them is poor, that the benefits are not being distributed in the district, sir.
Actually, Tummalapalli, right?
Yes, sir.
Tummalapalli is a place where uranium is mined like anything, not only in India, in the world, is it right?
Yes, sir.
So in spite of having such kind of resources, natural resources, you said varieties and many things are there.
Yes, sir.
In spite of all these things, why the people of Kadapa are suffering from the poverty? Suppose
yes, sir.
you are made Agriculture Minister of the Andhra Pradesh state.
Yes, sir.
What actions you will take to develop your mother district?
Okay, sir. I will first, I have two aspects in this, sir. First is regarding, okay, I am Agriculture Minister, sorry, sir. There are good irrigation prospects, sir. KC Canal is there, and many projects, Annamaya project is also there. But the problem is the canals are not being monitored in time, and farmers have very little information regarding which crops to be used in which time, sir. For example, lemon is grown a lot, and lemon requires lot of water for irrigating, sir. So I believe I have to make awareness among the people to locate the lemon cultivation areas nearby to the irrigated areas rather than to extract groundwater.
Any other practicable suggestions?
Do you think a farmer should have backward linkages, forward linkages?
Yes, yes.
Any credits are required? How are you going to arrange?
Actually, the horticulture is very good in Kadapa district, sir. Even lemons, lime and oranges, all these are very good. But I believe they are just going to the consumption markets rather than processing markets like juice markets. So I believe they should be known about the hybrid varieties which are good for juice making, and they should also be letting know about cold storages and supply chains, sir. So I believe Horticultural Research Institute is also there in Kadapa, but the results are very meager, sir.
Why the systems are becoming inactive there?
The first thing is horticulture. As I have told, there is a Horticulture Institute, but as of me, I have known about it very recently, sir. I believe even youth should be let known about other career opportunities. Would you like to
describe your district from a socio-cultural point of view? Is it could it be a reason for backwardness?
Socio-cultural point of view. In socio-cultural point of view, there because of lot of lack of irrigation, there is lot of Gulf migration.
Socio-cultural, okay, migration. Right.
Yes, there is lot of Gulf migration and education is also beneath total state's literacy level, sir. So I believe lack of interest in education, lack of incentives towards education, and rather attractive option of Gulf migration.
Suppose I say that your district has a lot of feudalistic nature. Would you agree with that?
Feudalistic nature. I didn't come across.
What do you mean?
I didn't come across. Yes, sir. There are few instances where there are.
No, instances. No. Do you think because Kadapa is known for not only in your state, across the country. It was the first election that was countermanded when a candidate was murdered in an election.
Yes.
Isn't that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to comment from that point of view?
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. There were multiple booth capturing I believe, as my news following, it was much more in last decade, and there are very less instances now, sir. I believe better election commission practices.
So Kadapa is a better district, you say now?
Now, definitely in that scenario, it is better.
You must say that because your CM is from that state. 2 CMs have come from that state, that district.
Yes, sir.
There should be a point of view from which you should express yourself.
When I follow news, I have less news regarding
Yeah,
that. sir.
please.
Ma'am, Shanti, ma'am.
Yeah, you have been reading the newspapers regarding the new education policy that has been introduced. What is your opinion about the common education policy introduced in India?
Community, okay. I believe this is very good in multiple aspects, ma'am. I believe the aspect of first in graduation level multiple exit opportunities which it has provided is good in respect of people can go out and pursue whatever they want.
So you are talking about the graduation level. I am asking about the higher level, high school level and the intermediate level.
Okay.
How it is going to help the students. In India you find number of states, 29 states and union territories are there. If they are going to introduce the common education policy, but you know the cultural background, social background, economic background, different backgrounds are in every state. Do you think that common education policy is going to help these high school as well as plus 2 students?
I believe it is gonna help. It is gonna help, ma'am, because it is being implemented in the higher level. The student has enough exposure until that level regarding his regional cases and regional history level, and I believe it makes him ready for the full India exposure. So I believe it helps, ma'am.
Suppose you take only Kadpa district. So cultural difference are there, social, economic difference. Now take Guntur district, there are differences. How will you collaborate these students on a common platform?
And as I recall, in my 6th and 5th standard, we have read about Vemana and Veerabrahmam because those are most of regional things, ma'am. I believe before 8th, the time is enough for a student to learn about his regional thing, and I believe it is a requirement for the student to learn about the common background.
So do you think it is going to help every student in the Andhra Pradesh as well as Tamil Nadu and Kerala? It's a common education system, I am saying. They are going to introduce 5 plus, 4 plus, 3 plus. So do you think that at the primary level and the high school level, is it going to help? And they have been talking about the regional language to be introduced in the primary level. Do you think it will have any impact on the later studies?
Regional language is made as an optional, and
It's not optional, it's compulsory up to 5th standard.
Up to 5th standard. I'm sorry, ma'am. I believe the student learns better when it is taught in a regional language until 5th. And I also believe there is also the 3 language formula which helps him to learn adequate English language to follow further basics, ma'am.
Suppose you have been studied in Telugu medium up to 5th standard.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you were able to score well and get the MPSC examination?
I cannot estimate that, ma'am. Sorry.
And you have also some interest cartoon illustration teaching. How it is going to help the children in the education level, in the high school level?
Okay, just that's a comma, ma'am. I have missed a comma. There are two hobbies of mine.
Okay, cartoon illustrations, teaching.
Yes, ma'am.
Teaching is your hobby.
Yes, ma'am. I teach.
Achha, both are, we have not used commas.
I have changed it in last
Okay.
version.
So
Sorry.
cartoon illustrations will definitely help the children.
Yes, ma'am. They do.
More than reading the text. By looking at the cartoons,
Yes, ma'am.
they are more interested, they can learn, they develop more interest towards learning ability.
I also believe after me being placed in the service, I want to publish a small book which has challenges or the paths taken by civil servants.
You can do that now also. What's preventing you?
What is the difference between service and
Yeah. There's
Challenges of a civil servant, what I face through my life and what I would go
you
through.
want to make it as a cartoon book?
Yes, ma'am. What I believe is, as a child, I was also discouraged by multiple people saying that civil servants is a risky job. You have to face so many things. I was scared to an extent, but I want to show the real picture. I want to show how can the challenges be overcome in a child-friendly way, ma'am.
Now, Pooja, suppose you are education minister. Now you know the private teachers are facing a lot of problems. How do you solve them? Now they are making a lot of hue and cry to the government. Government is not needed, and you are the education minister. how you are going to help the private teachers work in the private schools?
The private teachers have two main problems, ma'am. One is wages are really not up to their negotiation. Two is they are being forced to work for extra hours, ma'am. I believe this also has a problem of deeper institutional change, which needs change of marks pursuing, ma'am.
No, they don't have salaries at all.
Okay, you are talking about current scenario.
Now you are education minister.
Okay.
Now teachers, private teachers, they don't have salaries. They are on roads doing odd jobs.
Yes,
so how you are going to help them at this COVID situation?
I believe once all the digitalization is in institution, private teachers will be needed, and I believe I would ask every educational institution to maintain a register of every teacher's enrolling of his classes, and I would ask to maintain a login and logout time so that.
Now education institutions are not getting the fees.
Yes, ma'am.
They are not able to pay. In that way, how you are going to help the private teachers?
Can you give any kind of incentive for them, kind of honorarium per month? Can
Yes,
we do that?
we can be made. That can be made, sir.
Why?
Actually.
Government themselves are not getting any money. There is no revenues for them.
Yes, sir. Government
so how can you
is
do
in
that?
trap. I think the teachers will be I would try to provide them some opportunity like freelancing platform, so that one-on-one teacher-student incentive can be mobilized through student to teacher, because I also believe teachers, those students are not going to the schools. There are many students who are facing difficulties in understanding classes.
Do you feel that there is a need for a scheme now, present education, in a scheme that where you can get this kind of teaching faculty who are not able to go to schools, and create a platform, an app for them, and then they can be outsourced and it can be at a lesser cost to the students any kind of courses?
Yes, sir. I believe that would do much benefit, because as I have mentioned, I have recently gone to a tutoring to a girl who told she is not able to understand what is being taught in a platform. So I believe by providing one-on-one teachings, teachers can also get benefited and students can also get benefited.
Parents cannot afford it one-on-one to teach. Only rich parents can afford. But what about middle-class parents and the poor parents? Everybody wants English medium education.
Yes, ma'am. Basically,
so one-on-one is not possible.
Children who are not able to afford the payments are actually the reasons why they are accessing open platforms which are provided by government, ma'am. So I believe they also have sufficient incentive to access education. They are just not opting for a costly way. I believe this will provide equal level playing field.
Yes, your net fees is done, right?
Yes,
so can you tell me what are the main problems in
Main problems. The main problems are lack of irrigation, ma'am, and there is literacy deficit, ma'am. And third problem, what I have witnessed there is women are being married at very early age, ma'am. Because of the socio-economic factors, women are being married even before 18. So I believe this has to change a lot before something big can happen.
In case you posted your database, these problems what you are going to do?
Yes, ma'am. I would first encounter the irrigation problem, and the second thing will be the women marriages. Even if it is above 18 and legal, they are being disrupted in the middle of their graduation and all, ma'am. So I would be catering to that need.
Okay, Tirumani, Pooja. So, do you know what is SWAYAM?
SWAYAM portal.
What is that?
That is for online education. Sir, I'm not able to. Yes, sir, it is for providing online education website for students.
Yeah, so you said your hobby is teaching, right?
Yes, sir.
So, don't you think SWAYAM would itself an extension of that to a school level?
Yes, sir.
By the government itself? Wouldn't be that one of the solutions available
That
for giving a freelance opportunity? Because we have something called, is there any commercial entities which do this in India? Online education to school kids?
Yes, sir. There are multiple commercial entities which are Course Hero, Hatchlearn, Tutor India,
Okay.
SmartFrog. Yes, sir.
And what is neighborhood first policy?
Neighborhood first policy is India's policy to give utmost importance to the neighbors so that it can develop both India and also the neighbors, leading to a holistic growth, sir.
When did it start?
When
did we introduce neighborhood first policy?
2007. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Obviously, you know what is happening in Myanmar.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell what's actually happening in Myanmar now?
Myanmar army has taken over the government and government is currently in exile, sir. And that's a military coup, and because of that also the protesters are being counteracted with severe oppression, which is leading in a humanitarian crisis also, sir.
Okay. So, how does this affect India?
Yes, Myanmar, we already had Rohingyas refugee problem from Myanmar. This would definitely enhance, exaggerate the problem of refugee crisis, and also India's stand regarding Myanmar would portray a picture which is India's orientation or inclination towards democracy support, and also as Mizoram has been asking for allowing the gates open to Chen community. I believe there will be a little federal conflict between the center and the state, sir.
What is our stand now with Myanmar? Where do we stand?
Myanmar, India though has been a little late in passing the statement. It has told it is condemning any form of violence, and also it would appreciate any effort to resolve the democracy and reduce humanitarian crisis, sir.
Actually, see, your engineering is communication engineering, electrical. Why anthropology?
Sir, there has been an incident where I have found my interest in anthropology when the missionary person from Europe has been attacked by Sentinelese. That day I have been studying about what is the policy of isolation and all. So I was...
Was he from Europe? Is he from Europe?
I cannot recall. And sorry, I have forgotten. That day I was reading why policy of isolation and why not give development to them. Then I have inclined towards anthropology. So then I
don't you think you are really, making it too much of that? I would suggest that somebody should pick up a subject which is practical, you can get score marks in examinations. Then by such kind of an incident that has happened elsewhere, you should not influence you, because that might seriously undermine you, because you are an expert in your own subjects.
Yes, yes. I meant I didn't know the interest of anthropology in me. That day I have been studying about what it was. Then I discovered my interest, sir. Thank you, sir.
You want to brief them on one or later you want? ఇప్పుడే బ్రీఫ్ చేస్తానంటారా? కూర్చోండి, మీరు చెప్పండి.
మ్యామ్ చెప్పిన క్వశ్చన్ చాలా మంచి ఆపర్చునిటీ. ఎడ్యుకేషన్ దాన్ని రిప్లై చేస్తారు. ఓవరాల్ చాలా మాట్లాడడం, కొన్ని పాలసీస్ మీద కొన్ని ఇష్యూస్ మీద స్టాండ్ 100% తీసుకోవాలి. చివరికి వచ్చేసరికి ఐ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్. యువర్ స్మైల్ ఇస్ గుడ్, యువర్ యాక్సెంట్ ఇస్ గుడ్, యువర్ వే ఆఫ్ పోస్చర్ అన్నీ బాగున్నాయి. కంటెంట్ వైజ్ క్లారిటీ ఉంటుంది. Why anthropology?
That was my actual reason. I would refine the answer.
Then you have to buttress with a good argument, basically. You hit, because she knows about the incident, perhaps, you have asked whether she is European or not, that person. American. So you should know, because that kind of incident has stimulated you. You should know much more about the incident.
Yes,
And that's if it's an important reason, you have a very good linear argument. This question is a common question many times.
Yes,
తర్వాత నా వైపు నుంచి మీరు మేడం చెప్పినట్టు మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ యు ఆర్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఐ బిలీవ్ వెన్ అ పర్సన్ స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ ఐ బిలీవ్ దే హ్యావ్ అ స్ట్రాంగ్ కరెంట్ ఆఫ్ కోర్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ ఫర్ దాట్. యూ షుడ్ ఎండ్ విత్ వెన్ యూ సే ఐ బిలీవ్ యూ షుడ్ బి వెరీ గుడ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అ స్టేట్మెంట్. ఓకే, యువర్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్ ఆర్ గుడ్, like common education policy or your own district. Nobody will ask in your district about Kadapa in national interviews, but we have asked many questions about. See, any kind of a question, that kind of a question, sometimes people, they ask you, if you are posted to your district, and what would you do? And they'll ask, what are the problems? Normally problems, socio-economic, geopolitical problems. So you should analyze in them and pick up where you are good and analyze on this thing. And then suppose it's about Kadapa only. The issue is about backwardness, about socio-cultural milieu of the district. It's known for that, okay? And then a lot of feudal mentalities are there.
I thought it was a controversial.
No. That's what I'm saying. This is a personality test.
Yes.
If it is good, you should talk about it.
Yes.
Suppose some fellow is there from Andhra Pradesh or Telangana in that board. This is the first thing he would expect of you.
Okay.
So you should honestly say that and then counter it. How it has to be done. Your district is not the only district. Entire Bihar is the that kind of feudalistic mentalities are there. Many of the states are there. So you should be very good about it. The common education policy. It's a very, very good question actually.
I'm sorry.
Basic thing is up to 8th class or 10th class, common syllabus are given. You should bring it in a national integration, kind of a national understanding, uniform understanding for children, coherence of the state, integrity for the state. It's good. After that, people will develop their own, disciplines. They can become good in their subject they want. The questions given were good, but I think is this your first entry you are going for?
Yes, my first interview.
Yes, first. So you do a lot of mocks, okay? Then you can develop.
Thank you so much.